Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a while. Ted here. For those of you who may be visiting for the first time, I'd ask you to please consider taking a moment right now, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. I always appreciate likes, shares, comments, and yes. Okay, so today, what I'm going to talk about is, I just got back last night from a 4-day camp out. Camp out was at Hecla Provincial Park in Manitoba, Canada. It's an island that's actually in the middle of Lake Winnipeg, north of Winnipeg, about 2 hours and about 3 hours drive from my home. And all in all, it was a good time. We did have rain overnight, Thursday night, and everything was dried up so that I could pack up the tent trailer by 11 o'clock or so, 11:30. We were out of the campground about, I'm going to say 12:15 in the afternoon. Checkout time was 3 p.m. Check-ins at 4. So if you just Google Manitoba, Canada Provincial Parks, Hecla Island, it is a great park. And we parked adjacent to, not far from, but still not bad, from a modern washroom facility. There was playground facilities there. There's beaches there. The park has got a marina and a motel there, restaurant, a grocery store at the marina. Gasoline, of course, is there. It was $1.40 a liter, which is a bit steep, but when you consider it's the end of the road, that's where the road ends. The park also has an Icelandic village that was created, I'm going to say, over about a century ago or so. Maybe more, be a century and a half, I guess. Maybe more than that. Icelandic immigrants came to Manitoba, and they founded several communities, and that was one of them. It also has a general store there with gas pumps and all the amenities. And both sites have got piers and breakwaters. So fishing off the dock, well, I got robbed. Okay, probably it was the perch. They were the most caught, even though another species, including the very much treasured walleye and such. But anyway, while I was there, I took along this. I remember it. If I turn it sideways, you'll see more. You get more of it. This is about 15 inches. I'm going to say it's about 10, 12 high. Okay, this is the bag I take hunting, fishing, whatever. And the reason is because, don't we all like to have coffee? Cup of soup if it's really kind of chilly out. Whatever. I'm going to sit on the ground. Okay. Anyway. And there you have it. We'll pause while I pick that up. Okay, it's back. Sorry about that. Butterfingers. Okay, now this we'll ignore for a moment. This is one of the stoves I had. I actually had 4 stoves there, if you can believe it. A 2-burner Coleman propane that uses the green 1-pound tanks or black hose to a 20-pound 10. I took a 10-pound cylinder, and it turned out that the hose did not work well for me. It was a new hose. My friends was also camping there. We tested all kinds of variations, and his hose worked just perfectly with that tank. Mine, not so. Anyway, I was using my 1-pound cylinder in my little buddy heater in the camper to take the chill off, the dampness out in the morning. And so I dug out. Now this is the kit that I use quite frequently, except for I vary what burner I've got in it. Okay, so here we have it. The MSR, goodness gracious, stove, and reminds me I have to do a little fixing up here because they got the screw too loose. Anyway, so I used it. The tank I had is this one here. Now, I've got it marked on the top, 176. That's the last time I weighed it. Or, sorry, 127 grams. Last time I weighed it. Okay, and this is a pocket rocket too. I knew the name would come back to me. Just takes a while. Not a bad stove. The only thing I found wrong with it is that one fitting, and it's a screw-in fitting, I do believe. It looks like it takes a Allen wrench to tighten it up. So I'm going to be keeping the stove out and checking that because it flopped on me a little bit. Anyway, what happened was making a pot of coffee, a 6-cup stainless steel percolator, to make some good old Joe the old-fashioned way. It was getting down to pretty much hardly anything there. So I thought, okay, today I wanted to bring it out. And this is, of course, was my spare, okay? The rag is to stop them from chafing and all that stuff. Okay, in this bag is Old Faithful, I'll call it. Take stuff out carefully so I don't lose them. Okay, now really, I'm just looking to see what else I got there. Okay, it's a spork. Okay, it's got a full-sized 200-gram canister where this is, of course, these are 100. You can see I mark them on the bottom. This was 201 grams full, and it's down to 182.7. Okay, now the advantage of this burner is the fact I can empty a tank that's just about empty. And so I thought, okay, we can do that. There's a little bit in there, not much. Okay. I'll cheat my enamel mug. I'm only gonna put about 6 ounces of water in it. And it's time for if you can imagine, a gourmet instant coffee. And yeah, in my kit, others have seen it. And this is my S Pro thermos coffee maker, French press. But for our purposes today, this should be fine. Now, this stove does not have an igniter. It also will turn over readily, as we can see. Okay. And normally I have more than one means of ignition. Okay, now I'm going to gently now you heard I did not turn the valve. That's because it's getting liquid. I want to burn out what's in the tank. Okay, empty it right out and it won't take long. Matter of fact, we can see it. Open it right up. We might as well use the last of the butane and propane mix that's in there. And if I'm fortunate, it'll be enough. Now, in my bag, for those who are new to my channel, I have instant coffee, I have instant oatmeal, instant chocolate, cup of soup, and I think 2 bags are out, right. So anyway, at a time like this, I figured would be a good time. Let's see. Oh yes, Nescafe Sweet and Creamy. Okay, now I like their hazelnut flavor. The sad part is my store rarely has it. They'll have a caramel I don't like, and an original, non-flavored, but it is all fixed up now. What's showing on the edge of the pot across from me is bubbling air. That's because the flames are coming up the edge of the pot. I like this stove because I can use the last little bit out of it, or actually anything else. Now, here we go. Get the right glove. These are just a thin leather glove. I call them doe skin, I'm not sure. It is bubbling like crazy there. And that burner is almost burned out. I would guess it's not going to last more than 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. Okay. And those of you who know me, you recall very well, I much prefer real coffee. I have something like 8 devices in the house for making coffee. I made this a little bit on the light side, and I can always cheat and pour a little bit of cold water into it. Now my combustion is just about totally gone. And there you have it. We'll let it continue to burn right out. The coffee. Yeah, the mug is hot. As we knew it would be, right? It's a steel mug. A little bit of water. If I remember correctly, it's a 12-ounce mug, so half full should be about right. Okay, so what else did we find at our camp out? Well, we found that it was a beautiful campground. The washrooms were spotless. The campground staff, there was an adequate of them around, and we had a good time. So there was fishing. There's at least 2 beaches, a nice, like an excellent restaurant, motel. There's rental cabins, and some campgrounds actually have yurts available. All those things possible if you visit sunny Manitoba and treat yourself to an escape, we'll say. For those that live nearby, like I say, 2 hours north of Winnipeg or thereabouts, you pass just off the highway several communities, but all in all it was a great trip, and glad to be home. Thank you for joining me. If you would, please do hit the like button, subscribe, share, and come back and join me again soon. Hopefully I'll be able to get more consistent now that the temperatures are dropped a little bit more reasonable, and we'll see how we can go as far as other things going on. Thanks for joining me. You have a super fine day. I'm clear.